Hi students, now I am going to explain 4 marks questions from chemistry first year chemistry paper. In that 15th question, this is the question. What is the, this is the question. What is the common ion effect? Illustrate. This is the question. Now I will explain that. I wrote that question here. What is common ion effect? Illustrate. Illustrate means give the explanation. Common ion effect. This is belongs to chemical equilibrium chapter. This question belongs to chemical equilibrium chapter. This common ion effect, this gives the information about the dissociation of weak electrolyte. Electrolyte means which pass the current or electricity through in it is called the electrolyte, or simply the electrolyte which gives the ions is called simply electrolyte. Weak electrolyte means dissociation means split into ions simply. Suppose if you take AB is the electrolyte, it decomposes, or if it gives the ions like A plus B minus, then it is called the electrolyte. So dissociation means AB split into A plus and B minus. That means AB split into ions is called dissociation. If you take strong electrolyte, it completely dissociate into ions. For example, if you take sodium chloride, this is the strong electrolyte. It decomposes into ions like Na plus Cl minus. So it decomposes into ions completely. That means if you take 100 molecules dissociated into Na plus and Cl minus. This is the strong electrolyte. If we take any strong electrolyte, it dissociates into ions completely. Suppose if you take weak electrolyte, it dissociates into ions partially. That means not completely. Only some extent only it dissociates into ions. For example, if you take acetic acid, now I am taking here CH3COOH. This is acetic acid. It decomposes or it dissociates into ions like CH3COO minus plus H plus ions. H plus. So acetic acid gives the acetate ion. This is called acetate ion. This is acetic acid. Acetic acid. This is acetate ion. Acetate ion. This is simply H plus ion. That is proton. This is simply proton. Okay. So this is the weak electrolyte. That means it dissociated into ions very small extent. Suppose if you take 100 molecules, only 10 to 20 molecules dissociated into ions. Okay, that is the dissociation. Degree of dissociation. Degree of dissociation means it gives the information simply dissociation. Suppose degree of dissociation is more, that means dissociation is more simply. Degree of dissociation is less, that simply it gives the less dissociation. That is the degree of dissociation. Suppose if you take acetic acid, to this acetic acid, here acetic acid is the weak electrolyte. This is weak electrolyte. That means weak electrolyte means it dissociated into ions very small extent. That means only some molecules only dissociate into ions. That is the weak electrolyte. Okay, if you add to this weak electrolyte some strong electrolyte which have the or which contains the common ion or ion present in this weak electrolyte, then what is the effect of this dissociation? Okay, now I am writing example, then you can understand easily. I am taking one strong electrolyte which contains the common ion present in this weak electrolyte. That means CH3 COO this is sodium acetate. Sodium acetate. This name is sodium acetate. This is the strong electrolyte. That means it decomposes or it dissociate into ions completely. CH3 COO minus Na plus. This is the strong electrolyte. When you are add this strong electrolyte to this weak electrolyte has acetate ion, and the strong electrolyte also acetate ion. CH3CO minus na. This also CH3CO minus. Acetate ion. Okay. One more thing you have to understand, that is equilibrium. What is equilibrium? Suppose if you take acetic acid, it dissociate into ions some extent only. After that some extent, equilibrium it attains. That means suppose if you take 100% acetic acid, and initially 100% acetic acid, in that only 20% dissociated into ions. 20% dissociate into ions. Remaining part is 80%. Okay, na? Remaining part is 80% is here. So after 20% dissociate into ions, after that some molecules dissociate into ions, and that at the same time some ions combined with H plus, and that means these two ions combined and form again acetic acid. That means how many molecules dissociate into ions? Same molecules combined, same ions combined, or same molecules formed by the combination of these two ions. Suppose after dissociation of 20%, suppose another one molecule dissociated into ions, at the same time another one molecule is formed by the combination of these two. Suppose after 20% dissociation, 10 molecules dissociated into CH3CO minus plus H plus ion. At the same time 10 molecules again formed by the combination of 10 acetate ions and 10 H plus ions. That is the equilibrium state. I think you understand. Equilibrium means how many molecules dissociated into ions, at the same time same ions combined and form same molecules, same number of molecules formed back. That means this is the forward reaction, this is the backward reaction. This is the forward, this is the backward. In the forward reaction, how many molecules dissociate? That means how many acetate ions are formed. And in the backward reaction, how many acetic acid molecules are formed? Both rates are same. Forward rate and backward rate are same at equilibrium position. Okay, na? So after some molecules dissociation, it attains the, or it get the equilibrium position. So at the time when it is in equilibrium, then if you add strong electrolyte which contains the same ion or common ion, then if you see, when these two ions, okay, so When you add the strong electrolyte which contains the common ion, here common ion is acetate ion, then acetate ion percentage increasing in this acetic acid. When this acetate ion percentage increasing, for maintaining the equilibrium, that extra acetate ion combine this H plus ion and form acetic acid back. That means degree of dissociation of acetic acid is decreasing because acetate ion combined with H plus ion and form acetic acid, return to acetic acid, back to acetic acid. Backward reaction is happening and acetic acid is again forming because of this common ion effect. Because of this common ion effect, these combined with H plus ion and form acetic acid. That means dissociation of acetic acid is decreasing because the ions which are formed in this reaction combined and back to forming back to acetic acid. So because of this common ion, degree of dissociation is decreasing. That is the common ion effect of weak electrolytes. So for 4 marks, just you write these two reactions. Okay, this is the first point, and the second point, just you explain about this. Acetic acid dissociated into acetate ions and H plus ions, that is one point. And if you add the strong electrolyte, that is sodium acetate, it is dissociated into acetate ion and sodium plus ion. Okay, that is the one point. And the third point, this common ion which is the acetate ion combined with H plus ion and form acetic acid. So that means degree of dissociation is decreasing. That you have to write. If you read the material about this common ion effect, then you can understand easily. Okay. So if you like this explanation, please click on like and share to your friends.